Well, thank you for bringing us to the local village, Rafafa. Where are we exactly?
Yeah, now we are in Benny's area. This is the place where Ben lives. I know most people who have been following our videos are familiar with this very home, and I'm glad you've reached here.
There's a lot of excitement. What's going on here today? And why are these children so smart?
Yeah, these children, they're very smart because the visitors who came, they have brought for them clothes, they are playing with them, games, as you can see, bubbles. They really like it, and usually when we come, they usually come around because they know these are the people who care for them, these are people who love them. And I always also teach people when I come here. So when we come here, they know that their doctor has come.
Okay. Yes. That's excellent news.
Yeah.
So can we say hello to Benny? Where is
so
he?
Ben,
Benny, of course, is the boy we first found 2 years ago.
Yes, about
with severe osteomyelitis.
Yes, so he had been with that problem for about 3 years.
Yeah. Just Ben will come into the shop. Come over here, Ben.
Hey, somewhere Hassanan.
That's okay.
So, just a brief information about Ben if you are seeing him for the first time. Ben is an orphan. He lost the mother, and he's been staying with one of the relatives here. So he got the problem with the bone after getting trauma, and I think it was not managed well. It could have been an open injury. By then he was staying with a grandmother who was too old, so they didn't take care of it well, and it ended up complicating into osteomyelitis, which was chronic. So by the time we found him, he could not be able to stand on his feet without support, and he was in severe pain. And by that time, you couldn't sit with him without noticing too much smell. He had
from the wound?
From the wounds. Yeah, there were a lot of open sinuses on the legs, and the legs were swollen, and he was in pain.
I think we should just tell people infected wounds stink.
Yeah.
Yeah, so infected wounds don't heal. Yes. We need to get rid of the infection first. So we gave Benny some antibiotics.
Yes, so I took him to meet a surgeon, and he directed me. We've been putting him on some antibiotic cover, but we maximize more of nutrition because he looked malnourished the time we got him. The condition was not good. So with better nutrition and the antibiotic cover and some painkillers, his life was able to improve.
So before we came, he was in pain all the time?
He was in pain all the time. He could not go to school. He had been at home for some good time because there was pain, and people were not comfortable, even other children, to play with him and also to be at school. And at the same time...
So he was a bit isolated from the village?
Yeah, he was isolated.
That's bad news.
Yeah, he was isolated, and the father as well, like, abandoned him. I've never met his father personally since I came here. So he was left with no one, but I think God brought us in a good timing, and we got him. Since then, because of the support of the people who watch us, his life has been improved.
Has he got pain today?
No.
No pain today, Ben?
Or remove me.
No. That's good. That's good. That's good. Yeah. Now, there's more to do for Ben, of course. We're going to try giving iodine, aren't we?
Yes. And
we're also looking at the possibility of a very intensive course of intravenous antibiotics. And we're optimistic about that.
Yes.
So we're not there yet, but we've improved quite a bit.
Yeah, and if you watch, if you remember in the first video, we saw that his bed was not good. Actually, he was not having a bed. He was sleeping in a very dirty place. But we improved now. He sleeps like a king.
And we've got a photograph of Benny's new bed. So
yes.
Does he sleep better now?
Yes. Yeah, he sleeps better now.
That's good. And how's school going? Does he like school?
Yeah. Huisomelo hotia huren. Huisomelo. Hulei. Okay.
I was never very good at school myself, but
that school is now good.
Yeah. That's I'm glad someone is. That's encouraging.
That smile, like I just don't know, but this boy has really been helped reach this level. We usually don't move out giving tokens to people or trying to like helping people direct, but we want to always help the whole community. Our aim is we want to empower all the people. But sometimes when we move in communities, there are some special cases where we usually come in. So that's why we came in for his case, because we could not just teach and leave. Nothing could have happened. We had to move in and do something. The same case with Hezekiah, who's just a neighbor of Ben. For him, we found that they were having a challenge of monitoring his blood sugar because he has diabetes mellitus type 1, and he was just 7 years by the time we found him. And because of that, even his school was disturbed. He could not go to school regularly because most of the time he was in the hospital because of poorly managed diabetes mellitus. So what we did, we moved in and we got them a glucometer. We taught the mother about the diabetic diet, and now he's at school.
And is he getting insulin now?
Yeah, he's getting insulin from the government.
So medical people will know, of course, but to give insulin without monitoring blood glucose levels can kill people.
Yes.
And if you don't take the insulin, that kills people as well. So it's an absolutely essential piece of equipment. Yes. So we are helping these particular, well, you're helping these particular, you and the donors are helping these particular people. But the overall aim of this project is to empower people. Yes. How do we empower people?
So we empower people by teaching them majorly about how to eat well, the balanced diet, and then we also encourage them to plant trees, most especially the fruit trees. We want them to be able to eat well, but not today, but also in the future. Yeah, and
it's long-term development.
Yeah, long-term development.
Long-term empowerment.
Empowerment. So as we teach them about a balanced diet, we do it practically. We pick real food and we teach them. When we leave them now with the trees of that very food that we've taught them to eat. So,
but not only are you teaching the individual patient,
yes,
the whole community.
The whole community. We usually put them in groups.
As we see, takes an interest. So you'll see members of the community behind us here. They just came. We didn't tell them to stand there. There's a lot of community interest, which of course is wonderful. And, and when Mufafa stands up to do a lesson, everyone listens.
Yeah.
Now I've gone in to do many lessons and no one listens. So this is just fantastic. Everyone comes and listens.
Yeah, they like them because in most cases, I try as much as possible to simplify this information. So we get charts and I want to bring it in a very local language. At least God, I think, has given me that gift. I am able to teach a lot of complicated things in a very short time, but in a very simplified way. So when they find a medical worker teaching in a language they understand, they really get interested and they turn up in big numbers.
I can vouch for that. I've worked with a lot of teachers who can't teach for toffee, but Mufafa is a natural teacher and a natural communicator. So that's good, and you're using that to good effect. So for example, after the floods, what sort of education did you give?
So after the floods, we designed charts that were talking about prevention of waterborne diseases in the areas that were affected.
So disease can be transmitted in water?
Yes, yeah. Poor water.
What sort of diseases?
We have diseases like cholera, some other types of diarrhea, typhoid, and others. So when we taught them, it has helped. And we actually gave them trees as well to help to prevent the future floods. And it really made a lot of sense for them, and we changed their mind. And we believe that in some few years, those fruits will be able to help them.
If I got cholera now, how long would it take me to die?
I think it will take you very few days, because someone loses a lot of water and you die. It may not take you even a week to survive. So we acted actually immediately. We went to them when the thing has just happened. So it was really fast. Before even we reported any cases of cholera or what, for us we were already on their side.
But I suppose children could lose fluid much quicker, could they? Yeah. Children die quicker from cholera than adults.
Yes, yeah, they die, most especially those ones under the age of 5.
So in a sense, we'll never know how many lives you saved with that education because we didn't get the cholera.
Yeah, we didn't
You actually prevented it.
Yes, we prevented it. Personally, I was attached on emergency department where we received all those cases. So we really acted in time. We went on the radio station as well. We're moving in communities, but we also used the radio station. So the impact even was spread more than the areas where people were affected.
So you were able to broadcast on the local radio station.
Yes, we were able.
Everyone got this message that, look, this water can kill you.
Yes.
You know, be really careful until the flood water goes down. Really careful with drinking water, boiling water as you need to.
Yes.
Yeah, and waterborne disease, of course, is the major killer of children in the world.
Yes.
Dehydration, electrolyte imbalance.
Yes.
Terrible. And cholera, it's an indescribable disease. The fluid just runs out of the anus. It's just like a tap.
Yes.
It's a terrible disease. People can die really quickly, and this is what you've prevented.
Yeah, we prevented.
So this is a good example of empowering people rather than aiding people. You let them help themselves make their own decisions.
And that thing has really helped, and even the government was awakened in their approach. They really appreciated. They approached me and they said that we should have a talk and we maybe put you in the emergency response team because you know what to do when something happens immediately. Because at that time they were thinking more of food. Of course, people lost, they needed the food, but for us, we also provided them food.
We did food as well.
Yeah, we did food as well.
In fact, we provided about 2,500 kilograms of
yes.
food.
So we gave short-term and long-term preventive measures, and
So this approach, not only is it helping here, it's acting as a model that other parts of the country are interested in following.
Yes, they are so interested.
So because we have national media involvement, we're expecting the other areas to follow this approach.
Yes.
And when other countries in Africa see the success of this approach in Uganda, we hope this is going to go to other African countries as well.
Yes, that is actually our vision. That is what we want to see, that people around the world are empowered with that knowledge and are living healthy. We don't want we don't want to be in a situation where that health will only be for the rich. We want health to be for all.
And let's make no mistake, at the moment health is for the rich and it's not acceptable. It has to change. It's just outrageous. It's an offence to humanity that rich people live and poor people don't. It's just not, it has to stop. This has to stop.
Yeah, so that is what we want to see. We want to balance. And when we are moving actually in all communities, we don't segregate. The rich and the poor come together, and when we see all of them embracing what we are doing, that is what we want. We want all of us to be on the same level because everyone has a right to live a healthy life. So that's what we are doing.
That's what we're doing. That's why we make these videos.
Yes.
Fafa, thank you. Great to be in the village. Does anyone want to say bye-bye?
Hey, bye bye. No rush. It's a mupeho bye.
These kids want to come and say bye-bye. Say bye-bye to the camera.
Yes. They have gone to school, most of them. Okay. Bali be mwereke hele. Mwesi sana. Ama inyo mwe hale hundlo. Ni mwese mwese. Itamulolele ha kamera aho.
So it's goodbye from me and it's goodbye from them, and thank you for watching.
Alutwela habili mutamamuri bye, okay? Lutwela habili bye.